or a bunch of people on the right, bloviating, talking out of both sides of their mouth, knowing that they're pushing for something that'll never happen, meaning invoking the 25th Amendment. That ain't gonna happen. As long as he's alive and breathing, Donald Trump's gonna be the president until the end of the year 2028. It's just a fact. The 25th Amendment will not be executed. Stop it. Just say what Stephen A. said. You got former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene right there, 25th Amendment, not a single bomb has dropped on America. We cannot kill an entire civilization. This is evil and madness. Yeah. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. This is not foreign policy. It's a deranged madman threatening to wipe out an entire country. It's past time. The 25th Amendment must be invoked. Stop it. All you're showing is how useless you are. To invoke the 25th Amendment, you're going to have to get the vice president to sign off, the Republicans in the House to sign off, cabinet members to sign off, basically declaring him unfit. It's something the president is fully capable of fighting by saying he's not unfit. And as a result, it's a reason why it's never been exercised in American history. Stop it.
Trump just transitioned. Yesterday, he was a tyrant. Today, he's a taco.
Donald Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
All day today, everyone, most notably the people of Iran, were wondering if their civilization was going to die tonight. Well, good news, it didn't. It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays.
It's been very obvious for the last few days that the president was looking for an off-ramp.
The taco, Trump always chickens out syndrome.
So Trump's a war criminal who stopped the war because he's a chicken. I can't follow it. Dems want to give 47 the 25th because he threatened Iran so hard they signed a ceasefire?
We just can't accept a president who is literally promising to destroy an entire civilization, to murder hundreds of thousands of innocent human beings. That alone should be grounds for the removal of this president. But he thinks, I guess, that the threat of mass-scale war crimes has achieved some success.
Senator Chris Murphy said Trump was losing the war and he should stop bombing. So Trump stopped bombing. And Murphy called him crazy for stopping. Again, it makes no sense. I can't tell if the Democratic Party wants war or peace. I just know they want Trump to lose. And they want to lock him up for free speech.
The language there was, a war crime. It threatens war crime. It threatened genocidal-like behavior. It is the kind of language, as I said yesterday, associated with the monsters of history, to wipe out a civilization. That's simply not how presidents speak. That's not how leaders of democracies speak.
He's right. That's not usually how presidents speak. But most presidents don't usually win wars in 38 days. Maybe more presidents should speak like that. We wouldn't have been in Afghanistan for 20 years. Paul Morrow made the point on The Five. You know who really ended the Persian civilization? The mullahs. They had a beautiful thing going on until the Islamic Revolution. The media thinks Trump's the bad guy. And the mullahs, who slaughter protesters and use kids as human shields, they have the moral high ground.
How can the president claim that America can ever have the moral high ground if he's threatening to destroy civilizations and not casting wars as fights against other governments?
Andrew, I think you should take a look at the actions of this president over the course of the past 6 weeks and the actions of our brave men and women in our United States military who have taken out essentially taken out the military of a rogue Islamic regime that has chanted death to America for 47 years, that has killed and maimed thousands of American soldiers over the course of the last 5 decades. The president absolutely has the moral high ground over the Iranian terrorist regime, and for you to even suggest otherwise is frankly insulting.
Oh man, these people are ridiculous. Yeah, shout out to Caroline because she was absolutely right. But Iran has been threatening death to America for decades. Death to America. For decades they've been saying this. That has been their call for years. Trump threatens death to Iran, and half of America is out here clutching their pearls like he just said one of the most craziest things ever. You can't negotiate softly or nicely with madmen.
No, you can't.
You got to go meet them where they are. We don't need women, and we don't need these soft, effeminate men in these positions of power.
That's right.
Because when you are dealing with people that are mad, when you're dealing with people that don't know anything but violence, essentially bullies, I could say, that when the bully comes to you and they've been terrorizing, they don't understand anything until you punch them in the face. That is all they understand. And that's when they'll say, you know what, maybe I should stop doing that. So when you finally have a president that is willing to match their crazy, because they are crazy, you finally get one saying, you know what, I'm about to match your crazy. And I'm about to show you what we can do and what we're willing to do if you guys don't capitulate. And the Democrats are losing their minds over this. And they're always bringing something. Oh, it's a new way to basically waste time and waste taxpayer dollars. Oh, we're going to try to implement the 25th Amendment and invoke the 25th. Like, come on, man. You know, Stephen A., and I wanted to add that just because I'm like, when I looked it up, I was like, there is so much that would have to be done in order for this to happen. Like, it would be a complete waste of time, a complete waste of time. And I'm like, that is the problem with Democrats. They're not focused on policy. They're not focused on doing anything that would help move the country forward. Their only goal is to sabotage the president, which means sabotage the nation by any means necessary.
This has been boiling my blood since yesterday. I can see why Wise is so hyped. You can tell he deployed somewhere before because, look, you can have all the cute rhetoric around illegal immigration, around people's race, the LGBTQIA plus ideology, that's fine. But when it comes to war, right, which is not what this is, by the way. People make fun of me all the time for sticking to actual meanings behind words. Oh, you're playing semantics. Words have meaning. This is not war. By the definition of it, it's a conflict. It's a military operation, absolutely. Theater of operation, I'll give you that one. But it's not war by the definition of that. But it sounds better on the news. Of course, Democrats are upset about this. You said it, so I'm just going to repeat it. For decades, they have said, not just let's attack the government, let's attack the military of the United States. You specifically listening to this, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, they want to kill you. They've been saying they want to kill you for decades. But at the same time, we have half the United States that thinks that I want to have input into what goes on in military operations. I will continue to remind you that according to the last survey that was put out by the United States military, the gross majority of individuals in the military don't come from Democratic upbringings, families, or vote in that direction. When I say the gross amount, you could take out all the individuals who identify as Democrat United States military. It'd be like taking a drop out of the ocean. Most individuals come from either conservative, Republican, or Christian families. And so that's a lineage that understands what's being discussed. But this whole argument of Trump said a little horrible thing that hurts my feelings, obviously it goes against the 25th. To even said you could use that against him. You don't know how the 25th Amendment works. Stephen A., I don't know what side he's on any given Sunday, but he's absolutely correct in regards to what it would take to use the 25th. That's just literally not going to happen. You wasted airwaves. You wasted people's time. Once again, showcasing your emotions. I'm not going to say that Trump handled Iran the best way. I had my hesitation at first because I remember exactly what Wise said. They don't play the same game that we play over here. I told Crystal, I think, when Trump's first had the bombers go in, say, hey, look, if he plays this game, it can't be like a Westerner approaching the Middle East. That's the biggest mistake we made with OIF and OEF. We wanted to impose hearts and minds. You remember that mess, Wise? Hearts and minds. They will strap a bomb to their child and send it into the middle of a crowd. We're on two different wavelengths altogether. You got to speak their language. And the fact that they were even able to respond, I read that entire response, by the way. They tried so hard to save face. The fact that they were able to even respond, that is what's important. That's what matters at the end of the day is the result. All the rhetoric doesn't matter when the bullets start flying. It truthfully doesn't. Right. But here's the proof that most Americans don't get how the military operates. Why? You remember the downed pilot that they had over in Iran. They had to find them. And I think Crystal decided to ruin my day and tell me this. A lot of Democrats were upset. They spent so much money going after this pilot, all those resources. How could Trump waste millions and millions of dollars trying to find this pilot? That has been the standard for, again, decades since Vietnam.
No man left behind.
It is. Thank you. No man left behind. To this day, there is units in the United States Army I can speak for. I'm assuming the Navy has them as well. Couldn't do it without them regardless. There are units dedicated to finding the remains of individuals who are definitely dead at this point in time. That's their sole job, is to wake up and go find them. The operating tempo is, if you are left, it's not a matter of if we will come get you. We are going to come get you. And more so, every military aviator in the United States military has access to a secret clearance. It doesn't mean that you have access to everything. It's still need to know basis. But if you take me in my helicopter, if I went down in Afghanistan and you decide to torture me, because everyone does eventually talk, do you know how much information you can get from someone like that? That just shows that when it comes to these deeper matters of life and death on an international scale, when it comes to war, military, and conflicts, this is not something that Democrats should be weighing in on until they are ready to send their daughters, their sons, into the United States military like Republicans have been doing for the past few decades.
I think there are two wars being fought right now, one foreign, one domestic. Regarding the foreign war in Iran, I feel like there's way too much context that I'm not aware of. So I'm a little concerned about being overly demonstrative and certain. It's okay to be uncertain and to say, I still need more information. That's an okay thing to say. I need to learn more. But in terms of the our policy, I will say this. America, stop playing around with war. The fact of the matter is, war should be an absolute last resort, and it should only happen in the most serious of situations. And if those two things are present, if it is the last resort and it is the most serious situation, then you should go and destroy everything you can destroy. And that means civilians as well. Every war, unfortunately, has taken civilians. We took them in World War I. We took them in 200,000 in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, in World War II, Vietnam, Korea. There's been no conflict that did not have casualties, and casualty means civilians. So grow up on that issue. And what we should do is knowing that, in fact, civilians will inevitably be harmed when there is conflict and when there is war. It should be absolutely our last resort. And if the situation is not serious enough that you wouldn't kill a child for it, don't go. But stop going. Put your one foot in and your one foot out. War is not the hokey pokey, okay? Either you're going and you going to kill, or you stay home and shut up. That's the foreign war. As far as the domestic war, I don't believe the Democrats are stupid. I think they're smart. They're fighting a war of rhetoric, and their rhetoric is the word unfit. The reason that they want to so-called pretend that they have to evoke the 25th Amendment, they know they have no shot at invoking the 25th Amendment. They couldn't even stop the process to invoke the 25th Amendment. What they want to do is to see how many low information voters they can get to utter the words unfit. Trump is unfit. That's the sentence they want on the lips of their low information voters. And they're pretending they can get the 25th Amendment in as subterfuge to get them to plant that seed in their mind that Trump is unfit. That's the sentence they want.
Wow, you're absolutely right. There was no talk about this, about unfit, when we had a president, who was unfit, who was actually unfit. We actually had somebody unfit in the office, and legacy media caped and covered for that dude at all costs.
And to AT's point, the not leaving anybody behind, Joe Biden threw some people into space and didn't go back and get them.
Yep.
I wouldn't go nowhere for him.
Nowhere.
He's sure enough gonna leave you behind.
People have forgot about that. It took Elon Musk to go out there and go get them.
And they got mad that he did it too. They tried to stop him.
Democrats were upset that he went out there and got him. Not to mention, people forget about what happened, in the botched from Afghanistan. People forget about what happened there and the amount of people that lives were lost and equipment that was left and taken and stolen.
Thank you.
I mean,
hanging off the planes.
They have selective outrage, man.
First of all, I met Gold Star families when I was on TikTok. Don't tell me nothing about Trump going in to save that pilot, because at the end of the day, leave no man behind. Because to hear those people cry over the loved ones that they lost because Biden and them were too busy watching their watch and they weren't concerned about the families that the soldiers have been got in Afghanistan, I want to hear nothing. Don't let me talk about again the people out in space where they couldn't be bothered. You cannot fix your mouth and say nothing about the 25th Amendment when you were supporting the president that falls down the stairs when he's going up, sucking an ice cream every 5 seconds, don't know which direction he's going, can't finish his speech a sentence properly. Please, you have lost all credit. You can't tell nobody about nothing about 25th Amendment. Okay? I don't understand how people don't understand God is going to use crazy when he needs to use crazy. Jehu seemed crazy. David seemed crazy.
That's right.
They thought John the Baptist was filled with a demon. They said that who else?
Jesus too.
Well, they said they compared Jesus to what?
Beelzebub.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, God is going to use who he chooses to use. And he is using Trump because clearly these pantsy spirit finger kicking the leg up type of leadership that was before him, they're not doing anything. Obama, the one that y'all call your messiah, gave them the billions that their grandnieces and stuff are living in America, this lavish lifestyle. So this is how they handle conflict.
Yep.
As AT said, this isn't war. This is conflict. Let's call it military operation. Let's call it conflict. Let's call it what it is. It's not a war. But y'all are sitting down here going after Trump because of words that he said when, and I quote, the IRGC got on their media and called for women and children to go to the power plants. They didn't call the men. They called for the women and children to go to the power plants. So when and if Trump and them strike, that the women and the children would lose their lives. And you want to talk about morals? Y'all want to defend that? And y'all say Trump is the issue? No. Trump is doing what he's supposed to do. You want to talk about the 25th Amendment? You should have called 25th Amendment on the Sleepy Joe who decided to let all the illegals in that took the lives of a lot of Americans. That's what you should have done, but you did not. So I want to hear no words from the Democratic Party because you don't even understand what that means. And as my dear brother said, y'all have no idea the work that it takes. So low information voters, do me a favor. You know, we all about education over here. Go look it up and see how what they're saying makes no sense. And I just want to reflect on Jesse Waters' clip. Notice all of them got their talking points. They're like parrots. And it's so sad because Taco Tuesdays, taco, chicken taco, they all said the same thing. Why is it that they're all? Because they got their talking points from their evil leader. And lastly, Chris Murphy can keep his mouth quiet about anything. He cares nothing about the American people, as he told you. What did he say? The only one they care about is the undocumented Americans, AKA illegal immigrants.
All right, I'm gonna make this brief because Celeste stole my thunder.
She does that.
She brilliantly pointed out that they know for sure that the 25th, you can't 25th him, but they know the optics, and you keep repeating it over and over again. Their people are going to believe what they say, and they're going to call them crazy, stupid, and all that crazy stuff. But but the point she made on the civilian thing, because I mean I agree. When it comes to war has casualties. All wars do. That's not unusual. There's a difference here, though. We have a war that is a just war. These people have made it clear what they were going to do, what they planned to do, what they were trying to do. And Trump is the only president that stepped to them. All the rest have failed, and they're accountable for what they failed to do. The other countries are benefiting from their oil, but they're not doing their job to stand up to these people. So Trump is doing that. The difference is we have people in our own nation who hate our country, who are siding with the enemy and doing everything they can to make him look bad. This is what the problem is. Now, getting back to those civilians, Sister Celeste, there are two types of civilians in Iran. There's the civilians in Iran who are supporting that wicked, evil regime, and they are willingly being used in areas where the target areas are, so that if any of them die, the enemies in our country can claim that he's being evil, that Trump is being evil. Then you have the civilians who know that they're evil and they want to get them out of there. These civilians should get as far away from all of the target areas that they can, so that Trump can go in there and do a thing. Because like Trump wasn't wrong. If they're not going to submit, he needs to go in there and bomb, and people are going to die. But the people are going to die are going to be the people who are supporting that government, because they're told, as Crystal said, they're told to go to those target areas so that if they
Correct.
bomb them, you can use it. So this is a game. This is a game these people playing, and our leftist media, our leftist politicians are criminals, man. I'm just gonna call them what they are. They are anti-American criminals who want to do everything they can to make this man look bad. And if to be that dedicated to hating somebody to the point where you hate your own nation, they need to be locked up.
But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.